2020 Tantra, Crown Tantra, info in the description. So diagnosis. Diagnosis. Anybody that knows about gnosis, I don't have to break down the etymology of gnosis, but a lot of people might not know dia like in zoo dia or me dia, the zodiac or the media. Like that's the dia is the circle, or people would say through or apart or whatever, but dia means circle. That's why it's a zoo circle. The zodiac is a zoo circle. So diagnosis is circle gnosis basically. So that's cycling the light through the body. So if you're present in your body and you have a silent breath and the breath isn't troubled, then the heart won't be troubled. Then you can listen to that intelligence. And as you do your diagnosis, it's obvious where your troubles are within your body as you cycle the light through the body, and you just remain present and just continue to do your diagnosis. And as a thought comes up, you just observe it. You realize you're a listener. You realize where it came from. You realize where it's going, and then you just observe. And then the more you do that, the more conscious breaths in a day, the more you realize like the games that you've created and played with yourself just to trick yourself into staying in the persona that you've created. It's the same way as you going to the grocery store and buying a bunch of food that guilts you into eating it. It's the same thing. It's the same thing. The thought cycle, the food cycles, it's all a continuous cycle. So doing, not doing, acceptance is what does the undoing. Doing, not doing, which is way woo way, is the true way. So the less you need, the more you have. The more you need, the less you have. The more you can be still, then the more you can serve. Like yourself, though, you'll be a servant of self. As you be still, your body becomes a server, and you just astral project. You realize things, which you would call learning. You realize things because you're really living. Living is seeing. So as you go within yourself, you're not projecting outwardly. It's everything's within. So as you go within yourself and the various selves or cells within you, and you're projecting and you're remembering different areas of you by observing them, you restore those areas just by observing them. You can put them in better alignment, and then you return back to the overall body state, and then your server is more realized. It's like bringing light. You astral project, you realize something, or what people call dreams or whatever, connect in another level, on a more subtle level, more intelligent level, and then you bring that light back. Or it's just realization. It's just removal of space. Just removal or rearrangement of light. That's pushing the garbage out is pretty much just rearranging the light, rewiring the light within you. So, and the seed is crystallized light. So as you cycle the breath, you're cycling the seed energy, and no matter if you're male or female, because again, your brain and spine is the seed, the sperm that you came from. And that your heart and organs and flesh that's all the egg that you came from. Stillness allows you to see the light in the darkness. So, and we can go into media too. Media meaning middle layer, middle circle. So you can look at it like a lot of Taoist Chinese medicine. They would say that the dreams are really taking place in the liver or in that solar plexus area. Again, that's what your soul. It's all within. Everything is within. So you're saying it's happening within there, and it's all It's all different projections, all different states of projection within the body from the source movie. There's that one movie, one grand dream that we're all seeing fragments or fractals of, and then it expresses itself in the pineal and the solar plexus, or however. It's the same dream, and it's just coming through the projector. It's the darkness being projected, and we see it as light. Just like ultraviolet light is coming from darkness and into light, and then makes us dark, or makes us more vibrant or more colorful, however you want to look at it. So dreams are really the real society of media, or the real social media. So that's why if you're going into that state more intelligently with intention to learn, then you can live forever if you have intention to continually unlearn and continually realize and restore the light within you. So as you're doing that, then you can realize different talents within you, because everybody is a reflection of your subconscious. So as you astral project or whatever, you're just going into another cell within you. Same thing as if you meet somebody in person, and you can only talk to the cells in them that are you, and they can only talk to the cells in you that are them. So it's just the mirror that you're being presented with. If your heart is clear, then it's like water. You'll be like water. You'll be like that. You'll be more humble beneath everything. You'll yield to everything, and then anything that doesn't have roots, you'll just take it. It'll merge with you, because you're lower than it. The more humble you make yourself, softer you are, like water, then you get below everything, and then you take it all. Like all rivers flow to the sea. So if you merge with everything and yield to everything like water, and fill those gaps, and let people come to you, let everything come to you and attract instead of chase, then you'd be like water, and everything's clear, and then there's no judgment. And then you meet people within you, and then you have dreams, and you don't see any separation in your dreams, because a lot of that is just seeing a separation. You're eating animals and things like that, and carrying out these unconscious behaviors, and then you're calling these things dreams or past lives, but that's just your consciousness being caught up in a paradigm that you don't know about. You're serving out the karmas. Your consciousness is going back and forth from murdering your body to now it's switched to different types of murder all over the world, because there's no separation in the murder. It's all murdering yourself, and then you watch it murdering yourself in various ways, whether it's plant, animal, any kingdom, mineral, whatever. You're gonna watch that from the animal perspective, from the killer perspective, all that. That's where your consciousness is stuck in that paradigm until you accept and observe and stop judging, and you totally realize what you're doing. So you got to realize that you're listening, and that you become a trigger. You become a nerve servant, basically. So once you get out of that sympathetic nervous system lockdown we've been in, then you can start to heal. The parasympathetic nervous system allows us to heal. That's why so many people get addicted to weed, though, because it forces you into parasympathetic. But then that throws off the circadian rhythm, because you can't just throw all that feminine energy in there whenever you feel like it. And so it's all about acknowledgement, and then just continually apologizing to yourself, and then you balance it out, because the parasite that you created is what's doing this. You've falsely identified with a voice in your head, and that continues to create parasites, other thoughts, and you are not the language in your head. So anyway, one last parting thing I was going to say about herbs. Herbs just complete the alchemy. Herbs are great because they're more complete in their genetics. So anything more complete in its genetics, it reminds you of self. Again, food and things, they don't give you energy, they just remind you of the energy that's already in you. So herbs, they complete the alchemy because they're closer to the source, to their source, the source, and anything more complete will help in the process of anything. So as you ingest or take in those herbs, the herbs will push on the cell walls and push on anything that's not complete in there, and it helps the body to make things complete, because the breath is what makes everything complete. The breath fills all gaps, but the herbs push on things to make it apparent, to let the oxygen or air flow through. I don't want to say oxygen, because air is many things. It's not just oxygen. And air itself, you want to have holistic air. You want to isolate anything. Anything that's isolated and concentrated is a drug by definition. And then you have to counter any isolated and concentrated anything from any elemental level. Anything that's isolated and concentrated will need to be countered. So that's that external alchemy, always creating the ripple effect of compensation, and then you live in that yin and yang, and then your consciousness stays in that paradigm of needing. So we have to realize that all external light is just a reminder of the light within, until we no longer need to do those things. We never needed to do those things, but the process of returning, it just enjoy your process. So that's really about it. 2020 Tantra, Crown Tantra.